everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mo and this is my channel, Mo Nation. So this is the very first video of the year. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is recoating the top half of the hood of some spots on the front splitter, on the front bumper really, and then on the side skirts. I'm going to get into more why I'm recoating it. No, this is not a vehicle I coated in the past. So let's go ahead and get this video started. So from the washing, y'all can see that the car is coated, or it has really great protection on it, but I'm pretty sure it's coated. And there's other reasons why we know it's actually coated. The story behind this is the guy had another 392, trade that one in, got the blue one, there's a newer one, and the dealership coated it there, right? Now we all know that dealerships sometimes don't really be coating the cars, but apparently now this is a thing where they are subcontracting the work to actual mobile detailers. So somebody is in it good with one of the dealerships and they automatically, every time they sell a car, they go and they coat the car or whatever. So I guess this is a new thing that they're doing. I know when I was working at a dealership, I wasn't doing anything like that. But this guy was able to track down the guy who actually coated the vehicle to find out if he actually coated it and all that stuff. And the guy actually used System X Max, I think, or something like that. I think it was System X Max that's on it. The issue that he had was that the hood had some swirls and scratches. You can obviously tell with like low lighting, you can tell. The front bumper at the bottom where they usually have those yellow splitter guards, I think that's what they call them. You know, every Dodge Charger and Challenger owner wants to keep them on, take them off. But whenever I guess they took those guards off, it scratched the bumper on both sides. So it was consistent on both sides. And y'all gonna see. And then on the side skirt at the bottom, or whatever you want to call it, side panel at the bottom, there too, there was like some scratches that he wanted to take out. So what he did was he called the shop that he normally take his car to, who have coated, I think, 2 cars for him now. And they told him, well, they were gonna have to recoat the whole thing. So strip the coating off of it and recoat it, and that was gonna charge $2,500. He called another shop, and they told him, yeah, we could do just the hood and those little spots for you, but it's gonna sit for a week. You know, we can't get to it in a week and it gotta be at the shop for us to do it. And then he called me, and obviously y'all can see I would do it mobile. And that's one of the convenience of being a mobile detailer, is that some services like that I can do mobile. Now, if it was recoating the whole car, I would have said, hey, you gotta drop it off. Now, normally I would tell customers like, hey, it's probably best to recoat the whole car because we don't even know if it's coated, but we had a lot of evidence to show that, you know, the gloss, the way when I wash it, how everything was coming out, the water barely wanted to stick, it was actually coated. And the rest of the car was good. Now, it did have like some high spots in certain areas, and he pointed it out to me, but he told me don't worry about it. He wasn't worried about that. He just wanted those spots fixed. Now, if you ever had to strip off a coating, you know that just doing your regular stripping process is probably kind of weaken it some, and sometimes not by much. You're gonna have to polish it. So some coating companies say you have to sand it off, but I found that most coatings, just polishing it will take it right off. So as y'all gonna see me do, I'm gonna tape up the spots I don't want to accidentally polish and strip the coating from. So the side of the fenders on the side, because I'm going to do the top of the fenders but not the side. I take that off. I taped off exactly, you know, where those little scratches are on the bumper on the bottom, and then the other side at the bottom of the side skirt as well. As y'all gonna see me taping it up and all that good stuff. It's really pretty simple job, to be honest with you. It all depends on, this type of job depends on your business. If you don't feel comfortable just recoating a couple parts, then don't do it. Just say, hey, you gotta recoat the whole car like the first shop told them to do. This instance, I'm like, you know what? Everything looks good. The coating is performing good. Why strip the whole thing and recoat it? I'll just go ahead and do the parts that he wants and he's happy with that. Now, normally, like I said, I wouldn't do that, but this is a rare case. So first, what you see me doing is going with H9. H9 is a compound by Recoating, and the reason why I'm going with H9 is because there was like some swirls and some micro scratches and stuff he wanted to take out, and it was just on the hood. So I figured, you know, let's go with something. Let's just cut it heavy and then come back and compound it. Is what I figured. And also, the hood was rough. It was weird. That was another issue that he was complaining about. He was like, the hood is rough, and it's like when you pass a towel on it, it would like catch. Versus if you pass a towel on the rest of the vehicle, it just kind of slide. But for some reason, for the hood, it wasn't like that. So I figured that maybe when they were coating it, maybe they're coating it outside, maybe some stuff fused with the coating while it was curing. That's what I figured. So I was like, well, if I compound it, maybe it'll take that gritty feeling out. But it did and it didn't. So I end up having to, after I compounded and did a little test spot, I went back and clay barred all the spots with a synthetic clay bar, and that took everything out. And then I came back and compounded the rest of the car. Now you may be wondering, say, well, why didn't you clay bar in the beginning? I figured that the compound would take the that filling out, but obviously I was wrong. So it's just, I'm just testing things basically. So in most cases, a lot of other detailers that I see, you could technically say that I'm fixing another detailer's work, right? And you see this on social media all the time when the people get on here and they say, oh, I had to fix his job, I had to fix this person's work, that shop is no good. And I've gotten work from like well-known shops where people go there and they're not happy. I have a video on that coming up as well. I have videos of somebody going to another mobile detailer and they wasn't happy. But I will never get on here and bash another detailer, bash a shop or anything like that. They may do it to me, but I won't do it to them because that's just not how I roll. You never know what happened. You're only gonna hear from the customer side. You don't know what happened on their side. And I'm pretty sure when I first started off and stuff, and maybe even now, there may be somebody who goes that may have had to go behind me and do something, you know? So that's why I'm never gonna get on here and ever bash another detailer. I'm never gonna get on here and brag or say, oh, I have to fix other people's work and stuff like that. To me, when I get a job like this, it's more so as good experience, good content, and you know, it's just another job basically. Is how I look at it. So Like this particular one, hey, he didn't want to go with the detailer he did in the beginning because obviously you see what he got. And it wasn't his choice to go with that person anyway, but now I'm here, I'm gonna fix it for him. So the compound that I used was H9 by Kashikemi, and I use a wool pad by Lake Country. The polish is going to be F6 by Kashikemi, and I use a yellow Lupez pad to finish it off. As y'all gonna see, I'm gonna do a panel wipe on all the spots I'm gonna recoat. Now I will say this, some coatings you have to be careful because once you polish it, what happens is you polish it and you reapply it, and you'll be able to tell exactly where you reapplied it at. Like if you taped it off or whatever, you'll be able to tell. And you gotta wait a little bit and it'll start blending in with the rest of the car. So this one, the coating that I use, it doesn't do anything like that, but I have used a coating where, you know, I fixed the high spot and you can tell exactly where I fixed the spot at. And eventually, after talking with the company and stuff like that, they said, hey, it's gonna blend in. You just gotta give it some time. Now, that's just something to let y'all know. Now, this is the first customer that ever pulled out one of those little swirl finder lights to check, and he wanted to check it out in the sun, which is perfectly okay. He was happy with the job, and so I just gave him the same instructions as if I coated the whole vehicle. The whole vehicle is coated, but I just say, hey, don't go through a wash, don't wash it, you know, for at least a week, this, that, and everything else. So it's definitely was a learning experience. That's my first time doing a job like this. Will I do a lot of jobs like this? Probably not, only on rare occasions like this where the vehicle actually was good. It's not swirled up. The rest of it was beaten up great. And it really was just that hood and those little spots he wanted to take care of. And I felt like, okay, I can do that. So thank y'all for watching. I hope you have had a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next one.